If you hood educated, I'm glad you made it. Allow me to unfold my knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from a hood brother's point of view to all of you, here, there, and everywhere. Now check me out.
For a person to survive prison and come home, that's a miracle.
2 days after a deadly brawl at Washington State Prison, 2 former Georgia inmates are speaking out. They both say the violence was not a surprise. 54-year-old Earl White walked out of Hancock State Prison just 6 days ago, and he spent more than a decade in and out of Georgia prisons. He says what happened Sunday is the predictable result of life inside. Packed dorms, moldy showers, rats, spoiled food, and men with nothing to do.
All those conditions, after a while, it weighs on the person. And then yet, we turn inward and we start abusing each other. All those people that was involved in this situation, even the area need counseling.
White says chronic short staffing means little supervision to prevent gang violence in facilities with no education, no job training, and no recreation. He says idleness and constant stress turn small arguments into deadly violence. Brandon, who was released from Washington State in 2022, agrees.
Washington State Prison is the worst prison I went to. When I saw it, I still get PTSD because it's happened to me. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've done that. I've lived both sides of that. I've been stabbed.
Brandon spent 15 years behind bars. He says he saw extreme violence fueled by gang activity and easy access to weapons. Both men say what happened at Washington State could have been prevented, and that real change won't come from lockdowns alone.
It's gonna always come back to it could have been prevented with proper structure from starting from the top, meaning the administration, the Department of Corrections. It hurts my heart for them because they're just misled and lost youth, the majority.
Give us programs and give us schools and give us the things that prison gave before.
In Macon, Aggie Fitzgerald, 13, WMAZ News.
Just don't stop, baby. Hey, these niggas running around here now with these knives. All these niggas got these knives. It's like 10 niggas running out the door with knives. The whole building coming out and do these knives.
For what? What building?
I don't know what building they coming out, but they coming now. They still busting this nigga.
Are they still stabbing?
Shit just don't stop, baby.
The Washington State Prison in Georgia was constructed in 1991. It holds at least 1,500 people, or a little bit over 1,500. The security level of this prison is medium. Now, usually, for those of us who know about prison, we understand medium to be kind of laid back, cool. You don't have to worry about too much because it's a medium security. Usually all the bad stuff happens in max security, closed security, and stuff like that. However, this is still prison, so it doesn't matter if you medium custody or medium security, you still can lose your life. Medium securities are known for having a lot more opportunities for the inmates. I'm talking about you can learn a trade in a medium facility. You got religious services in the medium facility. You can get your GED, go to college, get counseling if you're going through some things in the medium security. A lot of them offer trades and stuff like that. So a medium security is geared to get you prepared for the free world. But we got to understand something about medium security. Being that it's medium security, a lot of the time medium security joints are understaffed because the correctional facilities somehow believe that these guys are okay because it's medium security, and that's not the truth. We got to understand some people are still criminals, and not only that, most people, or a large majority of the people that are in medium security prisons were once in maximum security prisons, was once in closed security prisons. So they bring that same attitude and that same behavior down to the medium security facilities. Now here it is, we have Ahmaud Hatcher, 23 years old. This boy right here was serving 20 years for aggravated assault. He was supposed to be released February 2038. But now he done lost his life in a riot due to gang violence. Now the reports that I'm getting, they saying that it was a gang war going on between the Bloods and the Gangster Disciples. Now, one thing we need to understand before I proceed, being that this right here was gang rivalry, a lot of the times some gang riots can start in one prison and lead to another prison. You see? And not only that, being that 3 people done lost their lives, the gangs are going to want their get back. And that's going to happen in the prison. Because you can't just let somebody kill one of your gang members and you don't do nothing. So it's not over with. These guys right here are finna be stabbing each other, fighting, killing each other. If not in this medium prison, it's going to be going on in closed and maximum security prisons. Jimmy Trimmel, 41. He also was serving 20 years for first-degree burglary. He was set to be released on Wednesday. You understand? That right there is the brother that was set to be released 3 days after the riot. Now he's gone. And he's 41 years old. You would think somebody that classic would have enough understanding to do away with any of that madness and get out the way. But you know, hey, when you in the gang lifestyle, you got to put up or shut up. And sometimes putting up or shut up can cost you your life. Teddy Jackson, he was serving 10 years for aggravated assault. And he was supposed to be released 2028. So he ain't had nothing but 2 more years left. 2 more years. And he would have been to the crib. But now here it is. This brother right here done lost his life as well.
And this morning, we know the names of 3 men who died in Sunday's deadly attack inside Washington State Prison. The county coroner confirms 27-year-old Teddy Jackson, 42-year-old Jimmy Trammell, and 23-year-old Ahmad Hatcher died in the violent attack. Hatcher's family tells us they're demanding answers and accountability, saying he warned his mother about unsafe conditions inside the facility.
My heart just was torn out of my chest. He was scared of his life. They were a cause of my son to get killed because they wasn't doing their job.
The Department of Corrections now says multiple inmates involved are believed to be gang affiliated and that 1 correctional officer was hurt but will likely be okay. 13 other inmates were taken to the hospital for treatment. The facility is still on lockdown.
And the cold-blooded demonstration. I'm talking about, man, look, dying is one thing, right? You know, you get old and you die. You know, you get sick and you die. You know, accidents and you die and stuff like that. Dying is one thing. Being killed is another. And what I mean by that is this right here. See, when you being killed, that means that, look, you ain't trying to die. Somebody is taking your life. So that's one thing. But the cold-blooded part about that is being killed in prison. Being killed in prison. The worst place in the world. I don't care where you at. Prison. And you get killed there? You don't even get to see freedom again? Cold-blooded demonstration. I'm talking about the worst of the worst. And here it is. This brother right here was finna get out in 3 days. And lost his life before he was finna be free. 3 days. Behind what? From the reports that we getting, gang rivalry. You see? This how gang rivalry or just the gang mentality, it messes with your brain. It turns your brain into mush. And the reason why I say that, because anybody in their right mind, as soon as they seen the riot kicking off, I got 3 days left. I'm finna lock myself in this cell. Boom. I'm closing the gate. I'm not finna get out there and tussle with y'all. I'm not finna fight with y'all or nothing. 3 more days, I'm going home to be with my family, to be with my children, my loved ones. Freedom, fresh air, love, mate, man. What? But see, that's what gang mentality does to you. You feel like you always got to be on the front line. You willing to sacrifice yourself for the gang. And for what? You see? So here it is. This brother done lost his life. And he was finna be home in 3 days. Nah, that's a cold-blooded demonstration. Listen, y'all. Anybody in their right mind, I don't know how they do it down there in Georgia, but up here in Minnesota, when you get close to the door like that, the brothers don't even want you playing basketball no more. You can't gamble. You can't play basketball. When we having goals, you can't come to the goals. Any type of conflict or chaos that might pop off with the lords, you are not to participate. These are orders. These are orders. You see what I'm saying? And listen, all keeping it 100, you got hard-headed brothers that still be like, nah, don't worry about it. I'm finna get out in a week. I got it, don't even worry about it. If anything happen, it's on me. Right? And so when a brother take that initiative, the law still be laid down, but when a brother take that initiative, we can't violate him because we don't want to get him caught up in anything. But when a brother take that type of initiative, then he on his own. It's all on you then. You see? But we done laid the law down. We already done told you, listen, Lord, you finna be gone in 2 weeks. You need to be in there reading, studying, getting your affairs together so when you get out, you can be productive. You see? Now, that's just from a vice lord standpoint. I don't know how everybody else do it, but just for me being in those institutions, everybody got like a similar demonstration up here in Minnesota, right? When I was doing my time. When you get close to that gate, some brothers, when they get close to the gate like that, some brothers say, hey, take me to the hole for my last 2 weeks. You see what I'm saying? No. I don't want to be around nothing because I know I'm going to be gambling. I know I'm going to get into something. I might get into a fight. I might have to stab somebody. I might get stabbed because it pop off just like that in the penitentiary. So some brothers just say, hey, look, check this out. Hey, take me to the hole. Now, in this situation right here, according to the reports that I'm getting, they saying that this all started off of one fight. 2 brothers fighting on the yard. And that's how it go, y'all. That's all it take in the penitentiary. Because as being in the gang, if you see one of your brothers fighting, you can let them go you can let them go head up. You can let them go toe to toe. But if your brother is losing, whether it's a Lord, Crip, Blood, GD, in Minnesota I'm talking about. All you brothers from other states, y'all can get in here and correct me if I'm wrong. If you see your brother getting beat, you have an obligation to interfere. You have an obligation to get active. And if you're not going to get active, as soon as you see, if your brother said, hey, look, check this out, I want to have a one-on-one fight. And the GD say, hey, look, hey, we going to let them fight, man. You know what I'm saying? We agree to let folks fight one-on-one, and we agree to and the Lord say, well, look, we agree to let Lord fight one-on-one. Now that, they can go in that cell and tear a cell up all day long. Win, lose, or draw. You got to earn it. You see, that's how we stop riots from happening. You can't just fight nobody. You see, you got to get, the okay, like, hey, dude just called me out my name. I got to get down with him. You see what I'm saying? And then we say, okay, who is it? Oh, he a Crip. Okay, hold on. Let's go holler at who got it for the Crips. Hey, look, check this out. Hey, your Crip homeboy just called Lord out his name, man. Lord want to get down with him. You know what I'm saying? That cell up there open. You see? And the Crips, they can say, hey, you know what? Yeah, okay, yeah. Hey, cuz, go up there and get down with Lord. We going to be on your security, and then one of the Lords, y'all be on his security. Or they can say, look, he ain't fighting nobody. Nah, he ain't fighting nobody. Nope, he ain't going to no cells or nothing. And see, that type of stuff start riots. Because the brother that got disrespected, now he like, well, I got to get mine. The man done disrespected me. You see? So if they don't want to do it the law way, then we got to get out of law. We got to tear this whole motherfucker up. Excuse my language, but that's just how it go. Now, in this situation, once again, it started with one fight. And the only thing that I can assume is it happened just like I just demonstrated. Somebody wanted to fight somebody and they got to fight, and it wasn't the okay. Wasn't nobody in order. We gonna just fight. We gonna be reckless, and that tears the whole penitentiary up. It's setting the whole joint up. You see, that's why if you ever like watch any type of what's that stuff when they be in prison on these little shows and stuff like that, when somebody want to fight and all that, listen, it's some politicking going on, because people understand stuff like this can happen. This can happen, where 3 people can lose their lives all because of the negligence of 2 other people's. You see? And one thing we got to understand about the penitentiary is that you got a lot of people in there with life. You got a lot of people in there with 10, 20, 30 years. And they want you to stay in there with them. You see? So they're going to be quick to try to stab somebody, try to kill somebody, because they understand, listen, I'm here all day long. I got to be here forever. So I'm killing people. I'm stabbing people. And if you get into a fight with me or you want to help me fight, understand that's what I'm doing. You see? Because trying to help me fight, you're going to catch another case. We're going to be down there in that courtroom with some attempted murders or a murder or assault or something. You see? So you got to even be careful with who you trying to aid and assist. Because listen, check it out. It's been numerous times when I was in the penitentiary and, I'm toting that iron. I come straight out the gate. I'm talking about straight from the streets, slanging the iron. I get in the penitentiary, I'm slanging iron up in there too. You see, so I come through there with the iron. And I remember one time, one of the lords, he was going through it with his woman on the phone. He snapping, he on the phone. We get 15-minute phone calls. When that 15 minutes is up, you got to let somebody else get on the phone. So when his 15 minutes is up, he hang up the phone and get back on it and started dialing again. It's 2 GDs waiting on the phone. They like, hey, Lord, let us get the phone, bro. We just heard you. I got to call my people. He go off on them. By the GDs knowing me and by me knowing the GDs, out of respect and keeping the peace, they came and hollered at me. Hey, listen, Lord on the phone, bro. Lord been on the phone, this, that, and the other, this long, man. And we trying to get on the phone and he said something out of his mouth, man. Woo, woo. We ain't got to talk no more. I go straight to the phone. I had the unit at that time. I go straight to the phone. Hey, Lord, you got to get off this phone. I need to holler at you. No, brother, hold on. I say, Lord, you got to get off this phone. I got to holler at you. And so he got off the phone and I said, walk over here. We walked to his cell. I said, go in your cell. He went in his cell. I closed the gate on him. Boom! Locked him in his cell. Man, Lord, what is you doing, man? Bro, what's up? I said, man, listen, man, them disciples just came and told me, man, that you disrespected them because you was on the phone all day long. And I heard you all the way up in my cell yelling on the phone. You ain't letting nobody get on the phone. Man, F them. Ooh. He talking crazy like he ready to send it up behind something that he's going through with his girlfriend. Not my girlfriend, not the disciples' girlfriend, and no other lords or nobody. It's his personal problem. He ready to send the whole joint up. So this is what I did, y'all. I had that iron on me. I pulled my iron out and I put it in his cell. I put my hand in his cell. I said, you ready to do this? And he looked at the iron and he said, no. I said, well, see, this is what I'm ready to do. You see, what you think I would have did, Lord, if I seen 2 disciples beating you half to death? You think I'm finna come like this? I said, I'm coming with this right here. We catching cases. We finna go to the county jail and fight these cases after I get done. Oh, no, Lord. I wasn't even thinking like that. No, bro, we ain't got to do all that. I say, but see, look at what you doing, though. Because them guys ain't had to come and talk to me. They could have just started whooping you or they could have started stabbing you. And here I come. Now I'm stabbing them. You catching the case with me. We going to the county jail. New cases, new sentences. You see? And right after that, he laid his ass down. All right, Lord, I'm gone, man. Don't even trip. Don't even worry about it. It's mighty. I went back and I hollered at the disciple dudes, and I explained to them that I appreciate them for coming to holler at me and talk to me so that we can remedy this situation peacefully. Because had them been some fools, hey, listen, I probably wouldn't be making this video right now, because I'd have been caught a whole nother case behind somebody else's bullshit. But see, that's what happens in the penitentiary, y'all. Stuff like that go down in the penitentiary all the time. And if you ain't got no structure, you ain't got no order, you will be putting your life on the line if you in the penitentiary behind somebody else's mess. And that's what appears to seem like in this situation, because it started with two guys fighting, whatever they was fighting for. You see what I'm saying? Cost 3 guys their lives. Now the kids that they ain't got no fathers. The wives or women that they had, they ain't got no man. The mothers and the fathers of these guys that are dead, they ain't got no children. You see? So we want to extend our condolences to their family. Rest in peace to all 3 of them brothers. But it's over nothing. I guarantee, ain't nothing dying for in the penitentiary, y'all. Come on. We got 3 men dead in the penitentiary. Ain't nothing that serious. But when you in that penitentiary and people are running around with knives, with that iron, then hey, you know, you got to get you some iron too. You see what I'm saying? You got to be toting that iron too. I'm talking about, it was so cold-blooded with me, I had iron for the unit. In the unit that I lived in, I tote that iron in the unit. But when I wanted to go on the yard or take my knife anywhere with me, I had fiberglass. Because in Stillwater, in Minnesota, and in Oak Park, we got metal detectors. Because people be carrying that iron. We got to go through a metal detector. I don't know about other prisons. I'm just talking about Minnesota. We got metal detectors. So when you go through that metal detector, if you got that iron, it's going to, you know, you knocked. But if you got that fiberglass, yeah, you go on through. They're going to pat you down. You gone. So I keep that fiberglass. I go to the yard with my fiberglass, the library, to the child hall and all that. Because I can walk through the metal detectors and I'm straight. You see what I'm saying? So, being that, of course, I want to go home, but at the same time, I don't want to die neither. You see, I don't want to die neither. So, before I depart, allow me to say this right here. This is a very unfortunate situation. Very unfortunate. But this is something that you young brothers need to consider. Because on the streets, yeah, you can die by this iron right here. But in that penitentiary, you can die by this iron right here. You see what I'm saying? 2 ways. So that's why I be trying to tell y'all, look, a lot of people believe that, yeah, I'm going to go to the penitentiary, man, and I'm just going to do my time and I'm going to be home. It don't happen like that all the time. I know guys that ain't got stabbed in their spine. They came in the penitentiary walking up straight, left in a wheelchair. You see what I'm saying? Come on. No. This is serious business. It's going down up in there. And getting stabbed, that's the worst way to die. Because you sitting there bleeding out. You see what's happening. You see? So for all you young brothers that I'm talking about doing all this madness and think, yeah, I'm finna go to the joint and do my time. No. You might not leave. Because you got people there that's doing life that want to make you stay with them. You see? And not only that, you got people in there that doing life that got no nonsense. As soon as you do anything this small, they are so bitter and they are so upset that their life is ruined. It takes nothing for them to kill you. Nothing. Just a simple thing. You could step on somebody's shoe and say, oh, you could even step on the shoe and say, hey, my fault, brother. I apologize for that. And he'd be like, yeah, all right, yeah, that's cool. And you go sit down to eat, or you go work some weights or something like that. Next, you know, this man poking you up after you done said sorry and everything. But just because he has a reputation that he got to uphold, he got to take care of his business. And he got life, so he don't care. He got to live there. You don't. You just going to do a couple of years and you trying to get home. He don't care about that. You see what I'm saying? So listen, for all you young brothers out there, understand one thing. Y'all know I don't agree with the gangbanging stuff already. Y'all know I don't agree with y'all getting y'allself killed early. Y'all know I don't agree with y'all going to the penitentiary. But at the end of the day, it's your decision. You gotta make that conscious decision to think about the consequences of your actions. If you gang banging, you're gonna die on the street, or you can end up going to the penitentiary, doing the rest of your life in the penitentiary, or you can end up being killed in a penitentiary. The choice is yours. This is Hood Educated, not Lame Related. Peace and love, and y'all take care of yourself out there. If I said anything that caused you to think, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And if you're feeling generous, please make a small donation to the channel. Peace and love.